on call. Well, looks like we just lost Norman, but once again. But I want to ask you three gentlemen. Obviously, there's new telekinetics emerging all the time in Facebook groups asking, like, "Hey, how do I do TK and stuff like that?" Let's start with Chris. Chris, what would be an advice you would give to a complete newbie on if they want to start on this telekinesis journey? What would be your advice?
I think that if you're in it just for selfish purposes, like you watch Star Wars and you want to be like Emperor Palpatine, that's your whole goal. There's nothing wrong with that, but it will change once you start doing this stuff. I think a lot of people will give up so shortly after they start because they don't feel anything happening internally. So during meditation, I didn't feel anything for a year and a half. I'm like, how disappointing. But I still made sure to do it because I knew just through Steve, him telling me just to put in the effort that something was going to happen. And one day I just knew that I can move things or shut out lights. It just comes to you. It's like a living spirit that enters you.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Morbius? Obviously, in our group, Telekinetic Minds, occasionally we get these comments and stuff like that. If you go to other groups, there's comments all the time. Hey, how do you do telekinesis? What would be your advice to a newbie, Morbius?
I would say just get a side wheel and fall in a deep trance and focus on one point and see what the effects are. And then once you get the feeling of what the effects are, just keep practicing until you can spin it and it falls off if you're just starting.
Right. I mean, I like when you said trance. That's what I'm starting to realize. Like, it's all about just getting into a trance. Like, the whole goal of even meditating is to get into a trance and stuff like that. Nico, what would be your advice? Obviously there's a lot of people. You hold classes and stuff like that as well. I'm sure you get similar questions all the time. What would be your advice to someone who is embarking on this journey who wants to learn how to do TK?
Definitely. Well, if they're obviously embarking on the journey of TK, their mind's already open to a lot of things. So we wouldn't have to mention for the reason of why to them. So they're already there most of the time. Sometimes not. But the basic chi ball with the hands, I like to do is sensitivity training. That's one of my favorites with people. See how sensitive they can be. I like everyone else's answers as well, falling into deep trance. But yeah, sensitivity training, feeling the energy with chi balls and just playing around, but do it as a lifestyle throughout the day, like everyone's doing here. They're training while they're on the interview, being hungry consistently.
Yeah, I know.
Keep watching videos.
Right.
So
when you look at guys like Norman, it's like that's all he does. Like all day, every day, all he does is TK. No wonder he gets so good.
Exactly right.
Yeah. What is your take on doing too much and draining yourself? Like, do you have any experience with that at all? Morbius has similar experience with that. I know because we talked about this so many times. Unfortunately, Norman, we lost him, but Norman doesn't seem to get drained so much, no matter how much he practices and stuff like that. What is your take on doing too much energy work that it drains you? Like, do you have similar experiences with that, Nico?
No, I don't. I'm actually just like Norm as well with that one as well, with everything that I do, because let's say when I'm doing healing, I'm gonna get it back to TK as well. I feel a lot of people's reactions and their vibrations get me right back up again. And I feel like my life force never drained. I'm always happy and excited and full of energy all the time. But I think it's because of my perception of life and the way that I view things, and non-judgment most of the time. Oneness, going into blasphemy to get the full revelation, hanging out in the darkness to embrace it with light. Embracing the polarity. But to make it in simple terms, I think people get drained with TK because they're looking for results instead of operating from results.
Okay. Interesting. What is your take on doing too much energy and like you end up draining yourself? Like, do you have experiences like that, Chris? Because I feel like I have that trouble all the time.
I used to in the early stages of this. Yeah, you would get drained after doing it for too long. It's like you start getting a headache. You start
Yeah,
feeling
headache, like feel like you're gonna get a heart attack. Like you didn't you
pain.
didn't you go to the hospital once, Morbius, for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you can get burned out.
yeah. You can drain yourself. I mean, it depends on how. It's like reading a book, right? Like you could be a great reader, but if you're using parts of your brain, um, obviously your brain's a muscle. So I think that anything you focus on for long periods of time, if that's all you're doing, it's going to drain you. Just it's because where your attention goes. This is where it goes. Yeah. But
Oh,
obviously,
what's
if you
up,
like,
Matt Ledbetter? Happy birthday,
yeah.
bro, Matt Ledbetter.
Happy
But that's
birthday,
just for
man.
my. That's it's either that or you get over energized. I noticed that a few times. Like my hands will start to, I don't know, they feel like they're vibrating, like really, really high. Like when I'm practicing sometimes, and like my whole body will start to get like hot. So I don't know, man. Like if I do it too much, I either have the tired effect or I have the overcharged effect, and I can't sleep.
I can actually help you with that if you have an issue still.
Yeah. Go ahead. Is there any
Okay.
advice to counter this, if you
Yeah.
will, Nico? Go ahead.
So whenever there's an overcharge like on the hands, that means that you're interacting. Of course, it's overbalanced or it's too much, and this is the same thing with healing. That if your hand, if you're gonna use the hand, it starts to feel that I can feel it now just by talking about it, like too much pressure or tingles or too much static here. That means if you back up more and relax the tension in the body and kind of give it space, you're still connected. If you can still feel it, you're still connected, and you actually have better results. Same with the healing. If I'm too close and I can feel a lot of power and energy, it's actually the tension could hurt them more, or you're still like in this fractal of the person's emotions, thoughts, and layers, whatever it is. But if you actually back it up, it's like oxymoron. It sounds polarity. It sounds really opposite. So if you pretty much kind of relax and kind of give space, they can work in that space and be more aware of the body, and it'll kind of transmute and recharge you fast.
Yeah, maybe that's why I like doing. Maybe that's why I like doing things from a distance because I had results with that once I backed up. So I was, yeah, that's good advice right there. But like I said, sometimes I won't be able to sleep. Like I'll be up, man. I'll be
That focus.
that focus. Yeah, man. That'll just keep me up. I don't know.
Yeah, certainly. Well, those are some great tips and advice. Norman, can you talk right now? Or is your